Alright. Cinco de Mayo. Alright. Today's May 5th. Be careful whom you offend on Cinco de Mayo. In the 5th century BC, Xiong Hui, the prince of Qian in present-day China, had been forced into exile. He lived modestly, even sometimes in poverty, waiting for the time when he could return home to resume his princely life. Once he was passing through the state of Cheng, where the ruler, not knowing who he was, treated him rudely. Years later, the prince was finally able to return home. His circumstances greatly changed. He did not forget who had been kind to him and who had been insolent during his years of poverty. Least of all did he forget the treatment at the hands of the ruler of Cheng. At his first opportunity to assemble a vast army and marched on Cheng, taking 8 cities, destroying the kingdom, and sending the ruler into exile of his own. Never assume that the person you're dealing with is weaker or less important than you are. A man who is of little importance and means today can be a person of power tomorrow. We forget a lot in our lives, but we rarely forget an insult. That's a good one. Daily law. Swallow the impulse to offend, even if the other person seems weak. The satisfaction is meager compared to the danger that someday he or she will be in a position to hurt you. 48 Laws of Power, law number 19. Know who you're dealing with, not offend the wrong person. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good advice. That's why I try not to be an insultful person. I don't I don't shit talk too much, even in jest. You know how guys talk shit to each other and just messing around. I don't even do that. I've never liked doing that, and I've never liked hanging around guys that do that. Because it always feels like, at least to me, this is how I always took it. Even if you're doing that playfully, there's a a grain of truth in all that kind of talk. You're not just saying that playing around. There's a part of you that actually means that. So if I ever do that, chances are I kind of mean it. That's why I don't do things like that. Plus, well, mostly because I don't like people doing that to me. I've never liked that. I don't like being made fun of, even for fun. I don't like making fun of people just for fun. That is who I am. So, there's that. Aside from that, there's nothing on my mind. Well, guess let's hit the road. Let's see what the journey brings. Nice and boring. And safe to my destination. Here I go. Yeah, I guess that's kind of why I've never been like a guy's guy, I guess you could say. I don't know how else to explain it. Like locker room banter type situation. Yeah, I've always kind of been like, everything you say, you should mean. Otherwise, people start to doubt who you are. Like I've known people, like you say, like they're always like bullshitting, and it's like I can't trust anything you say. Always making stuff up. I mean, just for fun, and they'll admit it. No, I'm just messing around. They'll say stuff like that. I'm like, well, all right, you know what? Whatever. I can't come to you for any kind of truth. Who knows if you're bullshitting or not? And I've always thought of it like your words are like precious jewels. And like the more you give them out, the less value they have. I guess that's like maybe why. Like monks will take like a vow of silence. Imagine how deep your thoughts must be when you take a vow of silence. Or if you knew somebody that took a vow of silence. Like if that guy has something to say finally, you better listen. Spent a lot of time saying nothing. Are you gonna pass me up or not? Because I need to get into that lane. Let you go. This guy passed me. Hurry up. You too. I try not to insult people. I've probably said things that are insulting in terms of like on a topic, but not like personally. I don't personally attack people unless you bring that. You have to really bring that out of me. Oh, buddy. He must be new. This truck needed to make a lane change right into me. And I could see his wheels already moving over the line to get into my lane before he even put his blinker on. I'm like, what the heck is this guy doing? And then he puts his blinker on. I'm like, okay, you do it the other way around. Blinker first, then you start to move over. I learned a long time ago when I started driving a truck, excuse me, that once you know where you're going, get in your lane early, like super early, so you don't have to think about it at the last second and make evasive maneuvers. It might be dangerous to you and those around you. Really, you want to make that kind of, you want to have that decision-making habit in life in general. Important decisions, make them early. Wow. least think about it early and know what you're going to have to do when the time comes. You're ready to do it. Not frantic at the very end, trying to make a decision that should have been thought out earlier. I have all kinds of cones set up, blocking off lanes. I wonder what they're doing. Sometimes I have this all set up, and they're doing nothing. Oh, man. Back over, because I don't want to be in that lane. That's funny. Cinco de Mayo. I don't even know. It's supposedly something having to do with sort of, I don't know if it's an Independence Day or something like that, for party day. Let's say that. People like to party on Cinco de Mayo. Celebration. I think people think I want to say, and I'm probably wrong, and I don't even know for sure, but I want to say that people think it has something to do with like Mexican independence, but I don't actually think that's what it is. I think it's kind of loosely related to that, but it's not exactly that. It's what I've been told, I think. I don't remember now. Still waking up. My mind is blank. See if some drink can help wake me up. That's fun. That tastes like an Alani. Somebody has lit a fire or something like off the side of the freeway. There's something going on right there. Like on the street, like down below, not on the freeway. As I was approaching, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting little weird cloud. I'm like, that's not a cloud. It's got to be smoke. But I'm passing by the brewery right now, so I'm like, is that coming from the brewery? But no, coming like right off the side of the freeway down below on the street. There's a lot of homeless encampments. I was listening to somebody talk about, that was Mr. Rogan on his podcast. He's talking about Skid Row. He said it's 54 blocks long, Skid Row. I think that's what he said. That's wild. I wonder how long that distance is. 54 blocks. A mile? That'd be a mile? More than a mile? 54 blocks sounds like way more than a mile. That's something to look up. How many blocks, or how many miles is 54 blocks, roughly? Or how would I phrase that for an AI question? Give me a rough estimate of the distance of 54 blocks. And then they were talking about like downtown LA, like how pretty it was. Like they said, like LA is one of the few downtown areas. This seems to be on the extreme coasts that this is probably the case. That the downtown areas of the major cities are like, they used to be beautiful and now they are not. It's even an old song. Downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. Not in LA. It's kind of funny. I thought it was a little strange. Yesterday, switching gears, completely different topic, just popped into my mind. A buddy that I play Pong with, he's throwing in the towel for good. It's kind of an odd bit of information. He's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be playing anymore." Just that I thought the explanation was a bit odd. Because there's another person we play with. He says, I don't know if she's leaving the company, like going to another company. But all he said was like, when she leaves, he says, "I'm done." And he was like saying that like his back or something like that was been hurting or whatever. I guess. I mean, it just seemed like an odd way to put it. That the timing was because when she's gone. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know, your back's hurting. Can't be messing with that just because you want to play Pong. Your health comes first. That's it. Got a man down when it comes to the Pong playing. There's a couple other guys I can still play with. Sound like a kid. I'm losing my playmates. It happens. Things happen, and then things happen. Let's see what else. I don't know. Not much else going on in my world. My buddy, he plays around with AI also. He created like an operating system. He sent me like a little video of it. It looks like Windows, but I was a bit like, I don't want to say I was insulted. but I felt, I guess, a little bad just with the wording. But the meaning can get lost in translation when you're reading the text. So I'm a sensitive guy, so I probably just took it the wrong way. But he's like, while you're over there creating pamphlets, because I show him all the stuff I'm making for like my dog training business, or whatever the heck it is, self-development business. That's probably what it more accurately could be called. He's like, but while you're over there making pamphlets, I'm over here creating whole operating systems. And he sent me like a little video of it. I'm looking at it in my head, and when I talk shit back, I'm like, yeah, while you're over here trying to reinvent the wheel, I'm over here creating a business. Because it looks just like, whatever he shows me looks just like Windows. It's no different. It's like little windows opening and closing, and like you see the cursor, and I'm like, that's great, but you're not going to outdo Mac OS or Windows or the Android operating system. That's just not going to happen. The Apple iOS, whatever the heck it's called. Like, there's whole teams of development personnel creating these things. It's like, you're not going to in my head, I'm like, you're not going to outdo them with what you're making. But I mean, it's cool he could do it. I think it's dope. But I felt a little bad. Like, hey man, they're not just little pamphlets. Over here trying to help people improve themselves and their dogs. I think that's a worthy goal. I didn't say anything back. So I know he didn't probably mean it that way. I'm just, like I said, I can be sensitive at times, especially when it comes to something like personal. I'm putting a lot of time and effort into these things that I'm making, and they're not just little pamphlets. I think the only way really you could even improve, because really all these operating systems, I'm thinking about what he's doing. I'm thinking about how could you reinvent an operating system that could be truly unique and set yourself apart from what's already been out there. The only way that's going to happen is through something like Neuralink, because really they all kind of vaguely do the same thing, and really you're splitting hairs on what it is that you're going to choose to use, whether it's an Android platform, an Apple platform, or like a Windows platform, because those are the main three. I know there's like Linux and stuff, but then no one's really doing anything on Linux. And the marketplace really has those three established as the main players when it comes to operating systems, because that's what everybody's using. And that's what's installed on almost all the main devices that you're ever going to interface with. It's an Apple, Windows, or Android platform. So really the only thing left is how it's going to be presented. And I'm thinking, like, in my mind, it's like the only thing you're going to be able to do is have to, like, the interface is going to have to be different in some way, because they all do the same things. And like the thought interface is going to have to be Like in the same way, like speech to text changed how you could, you know, you're not typing anymore. You're not physically having to touch a keyboard. You could talk, the text appears. So something to that effect is going to have to be implemented to a whole operating system. Like a think to do. Instead of talk to text, it's going to have to be like a think to do system. Not even like a talk. Because imagine a whole office full of people having to talk to do. It's not even that. It's got to be like a think to do. And this is where Neuralink comes into play. And this is where some people are going to fall behind. Because some people are very lacking in the thinking department. Or how much of their thinking gets overturned by subconscious thoughts overriding their primary thinking mechanism. Especially if like say it's just something as simple as typing up a document and just thinking, you have to do the thinking to do it. So you're sitting there thinking, and the text is being typed out. And then all of a sudden, like something catches your eye, and your subconscious thought just like grabs onto that. Now now that just makes its way into what you were just thinking to typing. That's where the scatterbrained demographic of society are going to have a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to wrangling their thoughts in their mind, keeping it focused on one thing for a sustained period of time. This is going to be interesting if it ever comes to this. I think really next, what I have to get a handle on is this agentic AI stuff. Like OpenClaw. I'm gonna have to really kind of dig into how to use that. And then really what I need is like a proprietary device that I can run it on. That's not connected to anything because I'm not giving that thing access to the sensitive information. I just wanted to do things that I needed to do on the level that I needed to do it. Nothing more. That thing can run wild if you let it. But I want to really kind of get into how I can use this, because this is where it's going. Now, if I can learn how to use it, maybe that'll open up other opportunities for financial benefits, let's put it that way. And I would hate to have a logistics. I'm watching these guys, these like little delivery trucks. Like, I guess Amazon would be the best example. I would hate to have, well, no, Amazon's actually a great example of how they did it right. Because Amazon doesn't own the trucks that deliver for Amazon. You basically buy your own vehicle, and then now you're just like, you're signed up with Amazon. But everybody that delivers, that's not like an Amazon truck. Maybe they have trailers, trucks hauling them, but I'm talking about these littler vehicles, like these Sprinter type vans or whatever, these smaller. But these guys drive like fucking madmen. And I know time is money when you're a driver. You know, the faster you get there to deliver, the faster you can get back and on to your next delivery, and the more you do, the more you make. It's normally how it works. But the amount of wear and tear that they put on these vehicles with how they drive must rip apart these small little delivery trucks. I noticed one get right on my ass a little bit ago. Like, God, I can't go any faster than this. And this guy's trying to, like, getting right on me is not going to make it happen. I couldn't see what kind of vehicle it was until I got over. And it was one of these small little box trucks. And I'm like, this guy drives like a douche. And that's normally how it goes when you're the driver and not the vehicle owner. You don't care. Just bash on that pedal and just go. You're not thinking about wear and tear when you're a driver. When you're an owner operator, it's a whole different story. Because that is your vehicle. All right. I am making my last couple turns to my destination. I have arrived. It's probably better that the whole Pong thing comes to an end, to be honest. Because I noticed once I started doing that, I stopped reading a lot. I used to use all my break times for reading. And it's only one break anyways that I go down there and play. It's not a big deal. But this OpenClaw thing has really been on my mind. All this AI stuff is because it's got to be a way I figured out something, so far with these self-improvement documents that I created. I think that came out quite nice. And now that OpenClaw is on the radar, there's something there. And I think I'm building something. So I want to see where it goes, and hopefully something comes of it. We shall see. All right, I've arrived. Everybody have a great day. Go to work.